Hello, welcome back to the Scale Modelling Cafe. My name is Jamie and welcome to this week's update. I was going to say the date, but I don't know it and I haven't got my glasses on. I think it might be the 12th of October 2022. Oh, excuse me, I've just had my dinner and it's repeating. So yeah, bit of a chaotic start today. I think this video might be a little bit shorter than normal because not a great deal has been going on, both in the modelling news and on the bench. It's been a very busy week at work and I've had lots of other stuff on, not least admin, buying a new house, buying a new car. Yeah, so it's been a bit full on. But anyway, on with the show, I suppose. Right, first off, I've got some notes here. Right, what's been going on the channel then? Last Wednesday, I uploaded a chat video. It was a review of a book. So first one I've done. It'd be great to get your feedback on that. If you liked it, if so, I'll do some more. But I enjoy doing it. The book is the Wing Leader Beaufighter, essentially the UK Coastal Command one. So the Mark 6C, 10 and 11. It's a fantastic book. Fantastic book if you are going to be building a Coastal Command Beaufighter, but even if you're not, just some of the inspiration for some of the weathering is just fantastic, as you'll see. So go check that out if you haven't already. Right, we're still waiting for Ammo to launch their paint range. I have no idea when it's going to be. As soon as it gets released, then part 4 of the Airfix Lightning will go up. Oh, crikey. I've asked the question, when's it going to be coming out? I haven't received a reply yet. I just hope it's very soon so I can get on with that series. 2 more parts to come on that one, the painting and then the weathering and finishing off. As soon as that's done, we can get on and have a look, start looking at the videos for the Anson Colt, which is a really neat segue into what's been going on the bench. So it's just here. Hang on. Right, still in primer. This isn't going to be painted until all the other dangly bits are done. All I've done to this so far is literally put in some chopped cocktail sticks into the various undercarriage holes, which is going to be a nice stand for when I come and paint it. So that's all I've done on that, which I think you'll agree is not a great deal. The reason I haven't done a sort of great deal is because of these. These are the engines. The Brassin Napier Sabre engines for the Tempest. I've made both of these. I've done the engine mounts as well. Next stage is I need to paint these and weather them. That's going to be quite tricky because they are extremely well detailed, as you can see from the picture. As soon as these engines are done and essentially they're ready to be mounted into the airframe, I'm going to do the mid-upper gun turret. I'm going to do the gun pods. I'll do the propellers, and then that's all the dangly bits done, and the undercarriage. Then the fun bit can begin, and that's painting the airframe. I'm hoping to be able to do that towards the end of next week, hopefully, if not the weekend. That's the plan. So not a massive amount of progress this week, but it has been a very busy week. Right, what's next then? Right, the news. Not a great deal of news this week. Just a few bits to talk about. One new kit that's been announced is the Armour Hobby have announced a Sea Hurricane in 1/72 scale. That is based on their Mark 1 kit. It's a beautiful kit. I've made a couple of those. The underbelly bit is 3D resin printed, and I believe you're going to get a few other goodies to go along with that, such as exhausts and a few other bits and pieces. So that looks really, really nice. Going back to my stash video, I'm not going to get one. The reason is I have the Airfix one in the stash in 48th, and I do actually really, really want to do that. In fact, I want to do that before Armour Hobby release their 48 scale kit. But that looks fabulous. It'll come with, no doubt, some really nice marking schemes as well. And being a Fleet Aeron fanboy, it's very exciting to see that in the range. Maybe I'll get one one day, I don't know, but it won't be soon. Takom have released some CAD images of the detail parts of the Apaches. So what they've done is released, and I'll stick some pictures up here, is release pictures of the CAD renderings for the cockpit next to pictures of the real cockpit, which I think, A, is brave, but B, shows great confidence and great attention to detail when you actually have a look at the CAD images. So well done, Takom. No idea, obviously, when that's coming out. If it's just CAD renderings, then I imagine it'd be quite a wait. Airfix have released pictures of built and painted Anson. The finish is not to my taste because it's very glossy, but what it does do is show up all the detail. And finally, it looks like we have the crispness in the mouldings that we've all been craving. The aeroplane itself really was kind of wooden and fabric and all that kind of stuff. So there aren't that many panel lines, but you can see around the nose on the images that the panel lines actually look really quite crisp, which bodes really well. Now, it might be a test shot, and test shots tend to be a little bit more crisp than the real thing. Certainly when I built their Stuka in 48 scale, that was from a test shot, and that was really crisp. And I think that when the final production kit came out, it wasn't as crisp. A lot of that, I think, was owing to the plastic. But if that's representative of what we actually are going to get in the box, then that really bodes well. What also bodes really well is, and we saw it on some of the sprue shots that came out not that long ago actually, was where they designed some of the kind of stressed skin on the plywood planking and stuff, which looks absolutely amazing. Matt is the designer. I think he's their lead designer, or one of their lead designers, if not the lead designer. I know him. I know him very well. He's the guy who helped on the Lynx. That's where I first met him. So that must be a good. Oh crumbs! When was that? 05. No, was it 05? No, I was on the front line. After that, certainly before 09. Anyway, no, it must have been about 09. Because it was when I was flight commander and we had 731. We had Evelyn. So it must have been about 09. So certainly over 10 years anyway. I've known Matt for. And he's a very talented bloke. And that shines through in the design of the Anson. And that looks really, really nice. So that bodes really, really well. And too many really, reallys. I'm just hoping that what we've seen in these images is, like I say, indicative of the kit. Right, the last thing I wanted to mention, and maybe a little bit contentious. It seems to be dividing opinion. Boardable have announced another new kit in 1/35th scale, and it's the FW190. Looks like there's a full engine with all the exhaust pipes and all that kind of blah going on. It, from some of the images that have been announced, it looks like it's going to be an absolute stunner. And I'm actually quite looking forward to that. I may well get this one to build on the channel. 1/35th scale for aeroplanes. Like I say, it's really divided opinion. Some people think it's absolutely sacrilege. Because obviously the traditional scale is 1/32nd. And yeah, some people have been very vocal. My own personal opinion is I think it's great, and why not? Absolutely, why not? If Border Model want to do 1/35th scale, then fair enough. If it's going to be put next to on a shelf in a 1/32nd collection, if it's next to an FW190, clearly it's going to stand out because it is going to be noticeably smaller. But if it's with lots of other different aeroplane types, I don't think it's going to look out of place on a shelf in a collection. And obviously it opens up the scope for dioramas, which I think is fantastic. I can't understand why there's the vitriol, other than clearly it's an extremely popular subject, the FW190, as was the Stuka and the, maybe less so for the Stuka, but certainly for the 109 G6 that they did. And there are so many aftermarket decal sheets and masking sheets for all these different aeroplanes that clearly you can't use because they ain't gonna fit. And is there the appeal that aftermarket decal manufacturers are going to start releasing 1/35th scale decal sheets when there's only one kit that you can use them on? I'm not so sure. Now, me personally, friend of the channel, Nige, does masking sets for me. He's got one of these silhouette cutter things. And so if I am to get one, then I'll get him to draw me up a set of masks. What I'll have to use though are the kit badges, or do an aeroplane without badges on it, which would be a pain. And I'm not so sure about Border Model's decal quality. Having read reviews of the 109, I think that the 109 decals aren't very good at all. Now, we're starting to see some of the aftermarket sets now coming out for that, and there are one or two decal sheets that have come out for it, I believe. Edward have released, or are going to release, some photo etch. So there is a little trickle of aftermarket for that particular kit and the Stuka, and no doubt they're gearing up for the FW190 as well. Obviously the same goes for the B5N, I'm assuming it's a 2, B5N2 Kate, might be the B5N1, but I think it's the B5N2 Kate. Yeah, so really interesting from Border. Personally, I'm not offended by it like some people are. I think it's nice. I'm wondering if 1/35th might be a nicer scale anyway, because it is just that little bit smaller. So it'll look a little bit more compact. I've done a few of the Hasegawa FW190s in 32nd scale. They're really nice. I've done the Revell one, which is a typical Revell product. You pay your money, you take choice. It's pretty basic, but there's an awful lot out there for it that you can throw at it. Clearly not for the Boardable one, but maybe you're not going to need to now. We shall see. So that's my little opinion on 1/35th scale in the aeroplane market. I hope it's a success for them, and I hope they expand the range. And like I say, I'm actually quite tempted by the FW190, even though I do prefer the 109 as an aeroplane, as a model. Interesting. Right, I think I've got to the end. I've just checked my notes down here, spoken about that and all that. Yeah, so in summary then, watch out on the channel hopefully very soon for part 4 of the Lightning build, the painting. That's kind of the most interesting one I think for this particular model, using the new metallics. Oh, excuse me. Go back and have a look at the book review for the Wing Leader Beaufighter. There will be another chat video coming up next week. I forgot to mention this at the beginning. I've done another video on, I've picked 5 manufacturers and just discussing a couple of models that would fit neatly within their range. So I'm going to do another one of those. In fact, I have done another one of those. I just need to edit it and upload it. So expect that in the middle of the week somewhere. I'll spread them out. I might bring that forward if we don't. In fact, it's the weekend coming up, isn't it? So I doubt we'll hear anything from Ammo over the weekend. So I'll probably delay the lightning video again. So apologies for those of you who were kind of halfway through when I realised it had accidentally gone up and I had to pull it. Hopefully we'll see that soon. Look out for pictures on the Facebook page of the Anson 2 progress. And yeah, I guess we'll see what crops up next week in the modelling news. Thank you very much for watching this update, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.